Alright, hey everybody, it is Tony and I am back. It is Wednesday, so it is time for a couple of more TTMs, and they come from the gridiron and the baseball diamond. We'll get to the first one, and it does come from the baseball diamond, and it is light-hitting utility infielder Dalton Jones, who had one heck of a World Series in 1967. However, as I was reading up on him last night, it does not sound like he is a big fan of Bob Wirt, his teammate with the Detroit Tigers in 1970. Dalton Jones had hit a grand slam in a game at Tiger Stadium. However, Bob Wirt, who was standing on first base, started watching the ball instead of moving, and Dalton Jones passed him, and therefore it only counted as a 3-run homer and not a grand slam. And from what I was reading about the incident, Dalton Jones still doesn't care for Bob Wirt for watching the ball instead of moving. From Dalton Jones' perspective, he said that it was a monster shot. Oh, who knows? Now it's on to the gridiron, and it comes from referee Jerry Markbright. Jerry Markbright was a college referee in the Big Ten and then moved on to the NFL in the 1970s. The reason why I TTM'd him was because he was the back judge for the 1966 Notre Dame Michigan State Game of the Century. And he had ref 4 Super Bowls, so I asked him, I said, was the Game of the Century, in your eyes, better than a Super Bowl? And he simply said yes. I told him that I was a Notre Dame fan and that I had grown up in South Bend, so I don't know if he was just pandering to me or what, but still awesome. Even if he fibbed a little bit and, wanted to say that really the Super Bowls were better than the Game of the Century in 1966, who knows, but still awesome to get that card back. Now it is on to my final TTM, and it comes from Roosevelt Potts, who was inducted into the Horseshoe Legends. It's not their Ring of Honor, but I think it's just a tip of the cap to those Colts who had played well for a time, but not necessarily worth putting into their Ring of Honor, I think is what a Horseshoe Legend is. But in any event, he was inducted into the Louisiana Monroe Hall of Fame in 2016. Had a couple 1,000-yard seasons, 3,000 overall with the Warhawks, who I think were the Indians back when he played. In his first year, he did have over 900 yards from scrimmage, but didn't score a single touchdown. 700 of those were rushing. The Colts still didn't give him the ball down near the end zone. Of course, the Colts did have a 3-13 season his rookie year. And then that 3-13 season led to drafting a Marshall Faulk. And Roosevelt Potts saw Marshall Faulk in the first practice. And according to a story in the Indianapolis Star, Roosevelt Potts immediately asked for a trade because, as he said now, in the last couple of years, I had not seen a running back better than Marshall Faulk. And so he's like, I knew I wasn't going to play, so I wanted out of there. But the Colts instead moved him to fullback, and so he didn't get as many carries, and he was just a lead blocker for one of the all-time greats. So that is all I have for today. Thanks for watching, everybody. Be good to each other.